Oh, damn, I wasn't even up here. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even up. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the NFL and about the boycotting of it. Like, why won't black people boycott it? And we know it's racist. My man is suing them for racism, but yet we're going to still watch the Super Bowl in droves. In droves. So we just going to wait on see if anybody comes. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. Let me see. I know how to. I'm back in. I'm back in. I hope everybody can hear.
Does it make you feel better to see black people in with different positions, or would it make you feel better with black people with different pieces of power?
Well, I would like for black people to live, and I would not like for you dumb motherfucking racists to kill us because you have a bunch of white guilt from all the shit you done did to black people.
I don't know about white guilt.
Yeah, well, you knew all about it. That's why you want to kill all the black people.
No, I don't. And that's
we're not going to allow you to do it.
Oxymoron. How would this make sense?
I thought
how would
when you had a black baby
make you feel better? That doesn't make sense.
I thought that when you had a black baby, that your white guilt will go away, and we couldn't call you Nazi anymore because you had a black boyfriend.
I didn't even hear about white guilt until I hear you run your mouth.
Oh, you didn't know what it was.
It didn't exist in real life.
You didn't know what that feeling was that made you want to kill all the black people.
No.
Well,
the 90s were cracking in my life. I didn't experience this. I don't know what the fuck you've been through, but in my life, this isn't a reality.
He had a little white dude bullying him. It was a white dude who bullied him when he was younger. But yo, I'm live and I'm talking about the NFL. If anybody wants to come over and join me, because he's not talking about it.
Oh, a platform you can talk. All right,
well, yeah, you can talk on my shit. Yeah, yes. Because RBR is too afraid of the white people. He totally kicked. I've been kicked off, but yeah, your simulcast is working. I hope so, Joe. I hope so. But if anybody wanted to, you can hear it too. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys can hear it. But if anybody wants to come up and talk about it, the link is up there. But because you can't get any words in edgewise over there. I'm too dumb for him, Lawrence. That's what kills him. He thinks I'm dumb, but for some odd reason, I know all his. I have all his talking points ready and countered. So we'll just wait a couple seconds. Hopefully, some folks will come through. But if not, then they don't. But this is just crazy, you know. It's almost a slap in the face. Like they say that the NFL is being racist to us, but yet we won't boycott them. That makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, that ain't a way to have a discussion, Lawrence. You know what I mean? Just talk over people. You dig what I'm saying? That ain't. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous to have a one-sided conversation where he is just talking, That's crazy. So if anybody wants to come on up, man, I think the link is still up there. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a conversation. Like this is starting to get ridiculous, man. It's starting to really get ridiculous. Yeah, you can't even talk over there, Kel. You can't even talk over there. Like, what's the point? And if there goes the link. If anybody wants to come on up, what a weird. Thank you guys for coming on over, though. I appreciate you. And Kelly, would you please stop talking about just Democrats and Republicans? Could you stop that, Kelly? Would you? Please. Appreciate that, old Bree. Take your time, man. We're going to be up here for a second. Yeah, I know, man. Money. It's that money. It's that money. You're absolutely right, Joe. They like even you know what the funny part is? I kind of stopped watching football after the Colin Kaepernick thing. It was just like what's the point now? Especially after nothing really changed with us. I was just like, I was sick of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the Browns suck anyway, which is my team. So that was just another good reason to stop watching football. When you're a fan of the Browns. But that's my home. That's my home team. I got a rep. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's done. It's done. It's ridiculous, man. Goonie. Oh, we got a Goonie. Who's the Goonie?
What's up, nigga?
Who this?
First time caller, long time listener.
Oh, appreciate you. Do I have to take your picture now? You ain't gonna porn bomb me or nothing, are you?
Now do what you want. I'm not coming up here to porn bomb.
Okay. You know how some people be. Well, I appreciate you for coming on up. What you think about it? What you think about us boycotting the NFL because they're treating black people, black man, the way they treating black man?
I don't really know what to think about it. I don't really tie up into politics like that, especially politics with race. Whatever. We'll have to see where it goes. We'll have to see if they're successful, with the lawsuit, or if it's just gonna end up like things happen with Kaepernick. If they're gonna just get laughed about the courtroom.
But don't you think like this should be what happened with Kaepernick? Like they treat us the same way. They treat us the same way. Like especially after the Kaepernick thing, you would think they would have a little bit more consideration in the fact that hold on, there's no more. Well, it's only one black head coach. You would think that almost be a man. I want to say at least 70% of the coaches be black, but at least more than one. When you think, especially if 70% of the players are black.
Yeah, I would think that they would need more than one black coach, but it's like what we were just talking about it over on the RBR show. Do you think that they would want to put a black person in that position of control?
Why wouldn't they? I mean, it ain't like they the owners, and they can always be replaced if they don't do a good job. But not to even give them the opportunity to see if they could be good or bad. I think that's the faulty part, especially when it's 70% of the players. Like, why wouldn't a player be a good coach? I know, like every player wouldn't be a good coach, but you telling me out of the 70% of blacks who are in the league, they wouldn't be good coaches? They don't have enough football IQ to become good coaches? I mean, to be in the NFL, you had to have been in the game for years and years and years. You ain't just fluke up in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why the name Goonie though? You don't seem like a Goonie. You seem pretty common, just to throw people off.
The Goon. I like the movie The Goonies. That's why I got the name.
Hey, you guys! You must be old to talk about the Goonies, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty old. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm old too, bro. It's a good thing. I don't know why it's bad on YouTube to be old, but you know what I'm saying? I guess it is. You got to be 14 and 15 and shit. Once you 30, you hit the wall and shit.
So why did everybody leave the RBR show? What happened over
Then
there?
I don't think everybody left. He still got a few folks. He still got 20 people over there. But I think it's kind of disheartening when you can never get a word in edgewise and he just over talks you all the time continuously. I think that's the foul part, especially when you say, I I invite your thoughts. Uh-oh. The man, the myth, the legend himself. What you think about the NFL topic, Joe? And welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. And it's a pleasure being here, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Hello to the mods and the chat.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. Believe me, this is something I have been arguing about for a long time. The audience is being played. That's as simple as that. They're being played to get their money out of their pocket and give it to the owners.
Right.
And the players are basically being, don't take this word as basically literally, but they're being blackmailed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. They're being used. You're
They're
absolutely right.
being used and they can't get out of it because they have their contracts. And the owners know how to use that contract to not only influence them to perform the way that they're performing, even though it's against their values and their principles and their morals. They have to swallow all that because the owners said, hey, you either play this game or you're out of here. So what happens to all that income that they had been promised in the contracts? Believe me, if an owner wants to get rid of you, they know how to get rid of you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because they did that with Cap. They blackballed him basically.
Exactly.
Blackball.
That's a prime example.
Yeah.
And it just it upsets me. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that in the
No,
microphone.
you all right.
But it upsets me greatly to see how the audience doesn't somehow see through this and just basically just walk away from the stadium. Walk away. Just I mean, take a month off
right.
of it, and I guarantee the impact upon the owners will be felt down to their core, and their
Right.
stocks will jump down so far that they won't even be able to do anything to save their franchise.
Right. You're absolutely right about that one. But like you said, it's the money game. Like especially when the players are put in a position of where, hey, if they don't play, they don't eat. Basically, in a sense, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, so I mean, I kind of understand the players' plight in a sense. You gotta take care of your family and your responsibilities, but at the same time, you got to stand for something, or this is going to continue. I'm sure they want to be able to at least have the opportunity to become coaches, but things are just the scales aren't balanced in their favor, unfortunately.
You know,
Unfortunately.
you have Kelly in the chat, and unfortunately, she says that she cannot come on board because her cell phone won't work with StreamYard. So if you want to get her thoughts about it, you may want to go into the chat and bring them up on mic so people know where she's coming from.
Okay, let me look. I see what a weirdo. She don't know about this information. That's crazy. How's your day going though? It's going all right?
Oh, my day's going great.
Good, good.
Um, it's always a good day for me when I'm on this side of the green.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Every day you wake up is a good day, as they say.
You got that right.
Yeah,
So I'm happy just to be alive.
yeah, definitely,
But I
definitely.
keep myself busy.
Cool, cool,
Um,
cool.
Shout out to Lawrence. How you doing today?
Yes, man. Shout out to the 5 people watching us. The four. Just went to four. But thank you guys for coming. It was kind of an impromptu. I mean, because that's what I really wanted to. I seen the title and I was, I was thinking about that all day. Like that is a good point. Why aren't we boycotting them? Like, if anything, we should be standing up against them. We should be supporting that brother wholeheartedly. Like, you know what? I'm not watching the NFL anymore until they get a brother, till more brothers are hired as coaches.
Well, that's
Like
the
that.
other thing. That's the other thing. I mean, if you do get enough brothers to be owners and head coaches and such, okay, this this shenanigans that's going on right now by the other owners, that wouldn't be happening.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Right.
because they'd be sitting in the same boardroom as the rest of the shareholders,
Right.
and they'd be saying, "No, man, we're not voting. We're just not voting for you. We'll just boycott you. You ain't
Right.
getting shit done while we're here." And again, and it's a little difficult, more difficult to kick out an owner than it is just to kick out another player or a head coach. So yes, there should be more black owners within the NFL, and blacks should be supporting that effort, making sure that owner is getting supported monetarily, and that they're buying into him, and they're saying, or not just him but them, so that they can get into a position where they can walk into the boardroom and say, "Hey, guess who's here?"
Right. You absolutely right. But I don't think it's gonna change, unfortunately. No time soon, anyway.
Well, every I can't say that's true, because look how many changes have happened just within our own lifetime. That
Yeah.
people said, "Well, this will never happen while we're still alive."
The only bad thing about it seems as soon as we get a change to move ahead, we get pushed 2 step backwards. Though, especially like the only reason why I say that is because I think about when Obama got elected and how maybe his first term we all thought that America might still have a chance and we're a little open minded, but even during his first term to that second, when you saw how the shift changed and it kind of went back to that old, and no offense, the old white man is could take control, or hey conscious, how you I mean hey verbal, how you doing, I'm sorry about that, could get back into power, and that's what
Shout
they
out to
wanted.
Verbal.
Yeah, shout out to verbal, thanks for coming by, I appreciate that. But yeah, I just think it's kind of hypocritical on our part that we see the racism but we don't stand for it. You know what I'm saying? It almost gives credence to the fact that they can basically treat us how they want to and we don't do anything about it.
Well, this issue cuts across all lines,
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
and because of that, it's not like as if it's just a little small minority sitting off to the side yelling and screaming, and people are just ignoring them. No, this is an issue that cuts a lot across all lines, and all of us should be yelling and screaming, and giving such a cacophony of voices,
Mhm.
toward the ownerships, and say, "Hey, keep doing this up, and you guys aren't going to have a job."
Exactly, exactly. But we don't. I don't think even all Americans we don't kind of stand for things that are right. We kind of go with the flow and just it's gonna be the way it is, and what can we literally do? But like you're gonna have to make some sacrifices if you want some changes. You can't keep complaining, as my dad used to say. You can't keep complaining and not changing nothing. If you're gonna complain, you got to make some changes.
And will the audience, the sports audience, life change to any substantial degree
Nah, nah, not
if
really.
they stop watching the games for a period of time until something does change?
Right. but it. I don't know. It seems kind of obvious to just boycott it because that's what the old saying is. You hit them where it hurt them the worst, and that's in their pocket. So, like you said, if you stop supporting them, they're gonna have to change. They're gonna. It's no either you change or you die. You know what I mean? But
That's it.
I don't really think football has the lackluster it has. I would even say in the past 10, 15 years, it seems like it's kind of dwindling. Like people aren't really interested in it anymore.
I have to agree with you on that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, especially with like the CTE, I think it's called, when it be messing with your brains. It just seems like I know. I mean, I still know people love it, and the funny part, I really should have tried to get my nephew to come on and talk about this because he's a football coach and he coaches his little sons and a couple of his friends. And I might have to call him later and see what he thinks about this. See if I can get him.
Try to get a hold of him now. That would be great.
No, I know he busy. Like he kind of does his little thing. He got like a little nonprofit organization up in Ohio. So I know he won't be busy. I mean, he'll be busy till later, and then he works as a school counselor too. So
God bless him for his charitable work.
yeah. He's man. If you think I'm something, he's like 3 times the man I am. I'm so proud of him, man. Like he's a really responsible man for real. He could take care of his wife and kids, and I couldn't be more prouder of him.
Is he a big brother?
No, he's my nephew. And the funny part is I'm the baby of the family, and his mother is the oldest. So we like 4 years apart. So he's technically my nephew, but we've always been like brothers.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's once you establish a relationship with someone, you can identify it any way you want.
Yeah. But the funny part is he hates when I call him my little nephew now. I called him that all my life. And I was like, man, I ain't little, man. Stop calling me that. I'm like, it's a habit, man. I've been calling you that for 30 years. Now you want me to change? You always gonna be my little nephew, you know what I'm saying? So I just say this is my nephew right now. I be trying to do better. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Yeah, man. I just think this is a real good topic to discuss, and it kind of does show like we don't have any discipline or any togetherness. Like, cause I mean, it's simple. Like, if they're being racist, why continue to give them my money?
Exactly.
That makes no sense. But
shout out to Caroline.
Yeah, this is America, so a lot of things.
You know what the glue is? The glue is the same glue that holds our Constitution together. It's the principles, the values, and the morals that we have to exhibit within we the people.
Right.
That's what makes things happen in our United States, in our constitutional republic. You have to start from the grassroots. You have to go and figure out, what do you stand for on the values, the principles, and the morals of our society? And then you have to question yourself, are the people that are exhibiting or involved in the sports arena, the ownership, are they exhibiting those constitutional principles, values, and morals?
Hell no, they just want the money.
Exactly.
They just want
what do? You take the money away from them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But we don't think long term. Especially nowadays, it's almost instant. Like if it's not done in the next 2 days, then it can't be done. Unfortunately,
yeah, we're kind of an instant gratification society at this
point. Yeah, unfortunately.
But the thing is, okay, if you don't stand up now as a parent, what do you expect your children to do when they get older?
Right.
Cave.
Same thing, unfortunately. The same unfortunate thing. They absolutely.
If you're not teaching them the values and the principles and the morals of being in a constitutional republic, well then, what do you expect to change?
Yeah, not too much is going to change, unfortunately. As we see now, like a lot of things don't change. We're going to have to force the change, but I don't think we have the wherewithal, especially in America, man. Like that, especially with that's what's so ironic to me. Like, cause we love. Oh, take your time, Aubrey. because we love football. Like that's America's game. Well, I kind it might be baseball, but
No, baseball is America.
yeah, yeah.
That and basketball.
You don't think football is American now?
And now? Oh
Not
hell.
anymore, but like before Cap, football was. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like, especially in the fall, it seemed like it ruled the land with college and then the pros. Like I can remember getting ready for the NFL, like barbecuing and all of that. But
Well, I'm
but
kind
I
of
think
going back. I'm kind of going back to the real basics, which is football was actually something that was done over in the European country.
right, right, right.
And if you watch them, that's considered to them football. And
Uh,
what America did is they adopted those principles of a football game from Europe, and they modified the concept of passing the ball.
oh, okay.
And
I see what you're saying. Now I see what you're saying. I got you now.
okay,
I got you now. Yes, man. Yes. I mean, I just think like that's a very interesting kind of topic to talk about. Like conscious more I don't listen to that racist idiot. I don't. I'll listen to him, man. I'm his total opposite, man. That's why we bump heads so much, unfortunately. But I'm not trying to be Malik. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get some understanding and some clarification. I'm not always gonna be right, and I don't think he's always gonna be right, but he always has to be right, which is the sad thing about that. And if you always right, you can't learn anything. You know everything. So I think that's what trips RBR up, when someone knows just as much as he does. But he's the only bearer of truth on YouTube, which is a hard task to have. Very hard task to have. Boycott RBR.
so
we
basically, what is our NFL topic right now?
about should we boycott it because of the lawsuit that the gentleman has filed, accusing the NFL of being. But I don't think he, because I didn't really catch it. Because at first I thought he was just literally talking about the teams that had did him wrong. But from what I've heard recently, that he's talking about the whole NFL, the entirety of it. So he's helping the players as well as just is not just himself, but the players too. And I thought that was interesting. But I don't think a lot of us will go along with it. But I think if you boycott the Super Bowl, man, do you know how much money they will lose?
if if the Super Bowl was boycotted by even 25%
Yes,
of its audience,
yes,
okay, they would be butthurt for a long, long time.
yes, yes. I mean that would send shockwaves through the nation. Like what? No chicken wings. We probably could get caught up on that supply chain. No chicken wings. No TVs being sold. No parties. No pizzas. But yeah, but you got to think of, and that's when I think that's when America listens, when you start hurting their pocketbooks. I think that's the only time that you really gain change is when you start affecting people's money, and not in a bad way. Just saying, I'm not going to spend with you. I'm not going to shop with you.
Well, what we're trying to do is we are talking about the NFL and this stuff, the shenanigans that are going on within the NFL,
Right.
and what we can do as a society and a culture. What can we to do make a change? I mean, a definite hard change from the direction that the ownership is taking us at this point.
Yeah, it's something to see. It's really quite amazing. It really is. But
You
I just
know, you know who the first in our United States history, in our American history, the first people that hit the pocketbook, okay, was when the Tea Party did their thing.
mm,
All of a sudden, England really took us seriously because guess what we were doing?
Oh, you mean the first, the Boston Tea Party, and not the Tea Party of.
Exactly. No,
Okay,
no, I
okay,
don't mean the Boston. That was the first
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shot
Texas.
across the bow using money to affect the change within our society, within our country. And that's the exact same formula that'll work today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it worked with the bus boycott. I mean, I think that took almost a year though, didn't it? Back
Doesn't
in the
matter.
day. Yeah, yeah. You're right. It doesn't matter. But things were kind of a little bit slower back then. I think with how fast our economy and how fast the government and society runs right now, it maybe even half that time. I would even think maybe 3 months. But like you said, if 25% of all the Super Bowl watchers just said, you know what, I'm not watching, I'm not participating, it would definitely send a shockwave. They would at least wake up and be like, hold on, maybe we do need to change some things.
And the thing is, a lot of people look at it as saying, okay, um, they're looking at this point as it being the blacks that have to make the move, the blacks that are responsible for everything that's going on right now. So
Mhm.
it has to be the blacks that make the first move, so to speak. Well, no, no. Okay, there's already a bunch of people already that, all they need to do, all right, as an audience, I don't care who you are, if you come in and become part of that 25%, and if people are made aware of that fact, in other words, it could start here by people walking away and saying, hey, talking to their friends, talking to their family, tell their families, hey, we can make this, we can affect this change in history the same way that Tea Party did back in the colonial days.
Exactly. Exactly. But I don't think I think our attention span is too short, unfortunately. Because we ain't gonna be talking about this by the time it's Super Bowl. Ain't nobody gonna really be thinking about it. They're gonna be asking where you going for the Super Bowl?
Well, you
You
know what?
cooking?
I understand, and that you make so much sense on that.
Yeah,
Um, I have to agree with you. The
I'm
thing
trying.
is though, guess what? In the past, there had to be weapons that were used to affect that change.
Hmm.
What weapon has to be used to affect this change now?
It can only be that money. It can
Yeah,
only it can only be
exactly.
that money.
You don't have to pull out a weapon. You just keep your wallet in your pocket.
Hmm. Nas Swirl Zone says, "What do you think of the former NFL Herschel Walker running for U.S. Senate in GA?" It's oh my God, it's just the worst, man. Like, and I'm in GA, so more than likely I have a chance to not vote for him, which I probably won't do. But yeah, and the funny thing about Herschel Walker running for GA is for Senate in GA is he wasn't even living in the state last year or the year before that. He was living in Texas, and I guess Trump told him to run, so he decided to run. But if you listen to Herschel Walker, you can tell that he doesn't know a lot about a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my thought on him. You have any thoughts on Herschel Walker running for office?
First, I need to know a background about him. In
You
other
know,
words,
you know Herschel Walker,
oh no, I know Herschel Walker. No, we're talking about the political arena now.
yeah, he doesn't. It's the
Okay.
same as his football arena. I don't think he was really that active until uh Trump.
But he is getting active. That's the point. There
He's
are
getting active.
people, we don't have to concern ourselves with which side somebody's on. Just concern yourself with whether or not they're exhibiting the principal values and morals that we want our children to exhibit and the ones that we should be exhibiting right now to affect the changes that we want within the NFL.
Right. He had a good chicken business. Huh? We got to man. That's why I don't even eat fried chicken too much no more. Non-swirl. So I be like, no, I can't do it. Oh my god, I can't eat. Oh my god, yeah, that's the crazy part, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I just man, that's just such a good. It's weird though, how much. Do you remember, Joe, when people didn't even used to talk about their political affiliation?
Yeah,
It was almost like, no, that's none of your business. But now we so open and upfront with it. I think that might be a little bit of the problem. Like, if I'm choosing this side, you have to be wrong because I'm right. You know what I mean? And it's no like kind of middle ground anymore. That's
but
the bad.
again, conscious. What makes change is basically confrontation.
Yeah,
Can't be sitting back and just hide in your easy chair and watch television and let it babysit you while it continually fashions your thoughts and your feelings and everything like that, because the only source you're having for your input is 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 the people, the money people, the ones that have all the power, and
right.
they know how to manipulate their audience. They know what they need to do to get their audience to do what they want them to do. That's what advertising's for.
But don't you think that's sad on America's part, like to not even be able to decipher or discern what is real and what is fake? I mean, it just seems like we're living in the matrix now, and nobody wants to. What's up, Azor? Thanks for coming by. It seems like nobody wants to wake up or saying go against the grain, as they say. We kind of just all flow with it. I heard one time people don't want to lead; they want to be led,
Yeah,
and
that's
it just seems like that's so in fashion nowadays. Like we just go with whatever is popular.
shout out to Azur.
Yeah, shout out to Azor for coming by. Appreciate you, brother.
The best way to combat something like that, as far as who's the leader, who's the follower,
Mm-hmm.
you come across as a straight line, arm in arm,
Yeah,
shoulder to shoulder.
but you think?
Come as a force that they have no way of wedging or creating fractions and factions and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know if it's
Come at your enemy as a straight line, horizon to horizon, and they're going to take one look at that and go, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that sounds like it would work, but man, just sometimes America gives me doubt, a lot of doubt, especially in the last few years. Like, man,
Let me put it to you this way. I'll give you a visual. Um, I remember when Hands Across America was done.
ooh,
Remember
I
that?
remember that too. Yeah, yeah.
And what happened?
Did it go all across America though?
Yeah, it did go on across America.
No, yeah, it kind of, but nothing happened after that. If I'm trying to remember, did
Okay.
it?
Well, it made
I
a
mean, I think we were united for that whole minute, but after that,
it, but that's the point. It happened,
yeah, it did. It
which
did happen.
shows that it can happen again.
That's true. That's true. I
So
get.
if you take today's subject, which is what is happening inside the NFL, and there's a movement that says, "Hey, let's show our solidarity, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, hand in hand." And we pick a date and we say, "Oh, I wish it was Super Bowl Sunday, but that's a short window." But you never know. Strange
Yeah,
things
you never,
happen.
especially with social media, we get a couple hashtags out there, get some powerful people following us, it might happen, but
I
I doubt that, especially not in
right.
California, because you got to think the halftime show got Snoop and Dre in it, so that's West Coast right there. There's no way people gonna miss that. And then the LA Rams are in the Super Bowl, so it
Well,
seems like they know what they're doing.
okay, let them make their money today, but we take it away from them tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. It
That's
would
all we
be
got to do.
it would be nice to get it during that Super Bowl, though. Ooh, all the $1 million ads wasted. And then it would kill RBR's statement about the Super Bowl making money too. Two birds, one stone.
Can you imagine the stats of the game?
Oh my God, man, that would be crazy.
I mean, that would be at least, let's say, if that were to happen, at least that would give the impetus,
Right.
okay, to the players to go, hey, we're going outside the stadium and we're gonna stand hand in hand with the rest of the people.
And you know what's so funny? It's a movie that I think it just came out, but it's about college football. And the gentleman is like #1 draft pick, and he's about to go to like the big, I think it's the Orange Bowl, but he decides to boycott on the premise that the college football players should be getting paid. I'm gonna have to look that up. I might try and do another stream and tie that in with it too. But it was real interesting to look at that movie preview. I can't remember the name of it though, but he's trying to get all the players who are in the actual, I guess, Cotton Bowl to boycott with him. And the movie talks about that, but I can't remember the name of it.
Based on what basis?
Because you know that that the NCAA is changing the rules about college football players being able to market their own like likeness to get paid. Like now, remember a couple years ago they couldn't do it, but now that they can do it. And I think this is centered around that. You know, the college football players not being paid when the college itself make millions and millions of dollars off of them.
And again, this goes back to what you talked about before as far as the professional sports. We're losing interest in them because they're losing what made their core values of what made them that valuable to people to watch,
Right.
because they exhibited the best qualities of an athlete. They
Right.
weren't concerned about the money that much. They were only concerned about their performance.
Definitely. But you know, millions of dollars have changed, folks. I might switch up on y'all too. Y'all, they give me enough money. No, I hate you, coons too. No, let me stop.
No.
Yeah, let me stop.
That ain't working either. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't go there.
No,
That's been tried for 20 years. And
Yeah,
it hasn't worked.
I'm just messing around.
I
Man,
know.
I don't think they got enough money for me yet. It's gonna cost a whole lot to get me to do that.
I don't think there's enough money in the world to get you.
Yeah, not yet, unfortunately. But if they get it, let me know, though. I'll let your boy know. No.
Okay, I'll give you the other side of that if you'd like.
Yeah.
You take the money, okay, and do exactly what we're talking about right now.
Right.
Okay, you want some hands across America? Hey, here's a couple hundred.
Yeah,
One of you, get in line.
that's true. Money does talk. It does. You're absolutely right on that.
If you got a cause that's good enough, okay, and it creates value within our society and which our culture, that's a good spend. That's
Right.
a real good spend.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. Yeah. And then with I ain't even think about Miss America dying too though. I forgot all about that. Did you hear about that, Joe?
No, I missed that one. What happened there?
Yeah, she committed suicide. Miss America.
No,
Yes, she was she was mixed.
no such thing as mixed.
Well, technically, she was a white lady then. If we're going by RBR standard, because her father was white.
RBR doesn't have a standard.
Yeah, I know. But
Okay.
she was considered a biracial person in America. Her
We're all
father.
humans, you know
Yeah,
that.
oh, definitely. We all humans. We all
Right.
humans. We all
So
humans.
what does skin color have to do with anything?
Well, but they define us by it. We can't ignore it. They do.
They define us, and
But
we're
I mean, but
allowing
most
them.
of even most of us defined us by our color.
That's what
Unfortunately, for
I'm
good
saying.
and bad.
That's what
Unfortunately.
that's what I'm saying. We're influenced by people of power to try to create wedges
Yeah,
and
definitely,
issues so that
definitely.
we are divided instead of united
But don't
in
you?
one race.
I think they breaking it down now. Like race or color won't be a
Oh
factor.
God, you got
It's
that right.
it's literally going to be: are you rich or are you poor? I think that's where it's going to now.
Exactly. Do you have blue eyes or brown eyes?
Yeah,
Is your
yeah,
hair curly or straight?
yeah. It seems like it's going
Do
there.
you have hair on your arms or not? I
That
mean,
is too.
they're trying to define it so down to the atom level, of whether or not, we can be segregated and made into classism. Let's see, let's put these people here of similar something inside this cage, okay? And then other people in another cage, and other people in another cage. Then the politicians come back, or the power brokers come back to do their advertising, and they say, okay, we got to aim our product toward this cage, then this cage, and this cage, because our product is going to be associated with them. We got a better chance of making money with the on the overall with these people inside these cages. Okay, so they advertise to them, and sure enough, they get the kind of income they're looking from those cages. Well, then what happens is that the other cages go, well, okay, if they think it's a good thing, maybe we should go along with them. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you absolutely right on that one.
It
Absolutely. Right. But man, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, look, they talking about it. What? They're talking about it right now, actually, on TV.
Last month, Flores was fired after back-to-back winning seasons in Miami and passed over for the top job with the New York Giants. In his lawsuit, Flores says just last week the Giants invited him to interview for its head coach vacancy. But Flores, who spent 10 years under Bill Belichick with the Patriots, says days before that meeting, his former boss mistakenly sent him these text messages saying the job had already gone to Brian Daboll, a white coach.
Disbelief, humiliation, that was a tough pill to swallow.
Flores also alleges that in 2019, when the Denver Broncos interviewed him, team executives were disheveled and it was obvious they'd been drinking the night before, the team calling those claims blatantly false. They too hired a white coach. And the Giants released a statement saying that they're confident with the process that resulted in the hiring of Brian Daboll, and that Brian Flores was a part of that process until the 11th hour. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, how they
The
gonna
president
change
of
that?
the Atlanta-based CNN Worldwide
Yes, there's no way they're gonna. I mean, and then they're gonna make it look like everything was kosher. That's the one good thing about. I mean, the one bad and good thing about the system, man. They know how to make shit work for them.
And this could start at a microcosm level at this point.
You said what now?
This could start at a microcosm or grassroots.
And you know what's the crazy thing about this though? Like, I don't know, Ice Cube, not referring to NFL, but he has his own, and I mean NBA league. Well, it's not an NBA league, but it's a basketball league. But it's only like 3-on-3. But like you said, minute. It kind of starts out with that. Like literally, people are gonna have to go elsewhere. You're gonna have to have different alternatives. But the NFL has such a power grab on because I'm trying to think. Was it the what was that second league that Vince Mann started? The wrestler dude, I can't remember, but he started his own little football league, but it didn't last too long.
No, he didn't, but he tried.
Yeah, he tried, but like it, I mean, you're going, like you said, it's gonna have to start off small. Conscious, did they ever find the source of the code?
What did Edison say? You gotta make 110 mistakes before you finally get it right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. Now, I don't know if they found the source of the COVID. I wonder if some organizations will be sued. Probably not. Because if you don't know where it came from, you don't know who to sue, and they're gonna make it seem like it was nobody from what I'm seeing. But yeah, that's that virus stuff. Oof, it'll get your stream knocked down. To this day, like I got a strike for talking about it on a stream, but I wasn't even talking about it on the stream. Like that's the crazy part. Like I don't know why they hit me. Even when I tried to appeal it, they still hit me with it. But it is what it is.
Well, do you want to get off topic as far as no Super Bowl, or you want to
Yeah,
stay
we can get off topic, man. I just started with that initially, but we can definitely, if you want to switch it up, we can. What you got on your mind?
Well, I like the question that Non Swirl Zone sent to us. Um,
No, it's
and the
not a
and
no
the point
topic,
and
Swear We just got to be careful with it. Just how
right,
we word it. That's
right.
all. No, you good, Sweet man. Come on, man. You good. We just got to. It's on us more so than you. We just got to be mindful of how we talk about the things surrounding it. Because for somebody, it's real funny. You can't say certain things about
Oh,
it
I know.
to this day. Like, but this
They
should be
got
the place where
this.
we can talk.
What was that book? 1964, 1970.
1984.
Is that the one?
Yeah, is that the one kind of the Republicans go to nowadays? Have you ever seen? Have you ever read that book or seen it, the movie? Because they have a movie for it too.
No, I
It's
have
like
not seen it.
it's like propaganda to the like literally. It's basically one side versus the other, and
Uh huh.
your side. So my particular the guy in the movie, his side would always tell them bad things about the other side, but he started to question it, and he ended up meeting a young lady who questioned it as well, and they kind of were trying to uncover the truth about both sides. And the people at the top of his side, they literally knew what he was doing and set them up, and then re-brainwashed them. And what had happened was the dude once they re-brainwashed him, the girl came out the way she was before, but the guy had been indoctrinated again, and he didn't want to go against it. But man, it's been a minute since I read that. It's kind of interesting, but I mean, you know how people try and uh, put anything on to anything. It's kind of one of those things, but it's very interesting. Like they don't like how it was basically set up. Don't question the people at the top, and if you do, it's gonna be a bad thing.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it kind of has a lot of underlying truths in it to draw people into it. So I can see how people like it.
Oh, you're right. You have to be careful because the powers that be say, well, if you don't say something, or if you say something that is misinformation and it affects the national security of our nation, you can't say it.
Right.
That it's like, okay, so we can't even discuss like the source of the COVID, and wondering if there was some kind of um, covert. I mean,
Mischievous plan in the making.
someone was playing with someone else, and somebody got mad and threw sand in another person's face, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. Like
About
that's
as far
amazing.
as you can go without getting yourself in trouble.
Right, right. It's amazing how that little thing shut down the whole world and how powerless we were. I, that was kind of crazy to me. Like we
Well,
couldn't.
again, hopefully without stepping over lines, I'm going to
Mhm.
say it anyways. No, I can't because otherwise that would follow that your whole stream would be taken down. So
Oh yeah, don't let us not do.
forget it. I didn't say anything.
He said it's no. I don't think Subone come over here, Malik. Why would really? Subone, you in the chat? You one of the four watching? I thought Subone hated me, man. He almost hate me as much as RBR do. But he might be over here. I got a couple stalkers. I got two stalkers now. I think they might be the same dude, but it's two different profiles.
Hey, people can change.
Yeah, nah, not this person. I don't think
Well,
they can change.
I know, but I'm always hopeful. If you present an argument to them that they go and they say, hmm, I never thought of it that way.
It
That
seems it seems like a lot of people like, no, you're wrong. Nope, nope, you're wrong, Joe. You're wrong. Nope, I don't even want to hear it. You're wrong. Nope, it's
I
only my
know,
way.
I know. But on the other hand, they may be going nope, nope, nope. But what got them to the point to have to say nope, nope, nope? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Something had to been said to them that shook them to their core to the point where they had to say, "I can't accept that." Nope, 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 nope.
I think it's fear. I think it's fear in it, man.
Fear has a lot to do with it. Yes, I think fear is one of the major tools that the people in power love to use. Okay, again, going to the cage analogy. If you don't do this and you don't agree with us on this, we're going to make you pay for it.
Right,
So they don't have a choice now. Okay, now we got to go along with the power brokers that have basically put us in this cage. So the only way we're going to get any kind of freedom is to accept what they have to say to us. So that's a fear factor. And the fear factor is very powerful within any society in any culture
right,
where they use fear factor. You go and you motivate people to go to war because you pick an enemy, you know, and you make that enemy a threat to your lifestyle, a threat to everything that you believe is makes your life comfortable. And so they say, no, they're a national threat, so we have to do something, and we got to go to war with them so we can stop them from affecting our way of life. And their way of life, of course, is making money. And so,
definitely.
guess what? Not only do they make money normally, okay, now they're going to make money from the war machine.
You
So
ain't.
they,
Let me ask you a question, Joe. Why do you think America is so fascinated with the gun?
oh, you know,
I mean, I know it's deep in our culture and our history, but it just seems, especially nowadays, it seems like people are using people's mind more so than, you know what I'm saying, force and
yes,
brutality with coercion rather than, the actual brute force of a gun. Like it seems like, I'm sure you're familiar with the old saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. It
correct.
just seems like that is so true nowadays. Like people get so mad at tweets and posts, and then they want to, maybe pick up the gun or stuff like that. But it just seems like the words are way more effective than that fear of the gun or anything.
Well, that's the whole point. Today, I mean, think about it. If you were confronted, or any of us were confronted by someone who went and spoke to us in a manner that they do online, on Twitter and you know, StreamYard and YouTube and such. If
Right.
they were to do that in their face, okay, there'd be a lot of people going to the hospital.
You absolutely right. Mike Tyson said the internet has made it too easy for people to talk reckless, knowing they get punched in their face.
Exactly. Exactly. So you've got these people out there who know that they're not going to feel any kind of ramifications or repercussions for their actions or for what they say on paper. That's the way I see it. Anything that's on the internet is basically you're writing it on paper.
Right.
Um, so they can say whatever they want, and what are you going to do to them? I mean, they hide behind fake names, uh, so that there's no way you can do anything as far
Right.
as
I was
running
I
their
was asking somebody about this. Do you think that people should have to verify who they are?
yes,
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, I
yes.
think it would be a little bit more helpful.
It
But
it it would stop a lot of the stuff that's going on because they know that they can have a certain amount, not a certain amount. They have a lot of anonymity, and they can say and do whatever the hell they want. And even if they say something that's against the toss, they can just make up a new name and continue to do what they were doing before.
you
And
you
so,
ab- You know, it's the funny thing. I really only found this sector of YouTube within the last, or during the pandemic, I guess the last 2 years, and it was. I was just like it's so phenomenal that, especially in the age of information, like people are so like stupid or gullible. Like how don't you know how to look up information and facts? But then I started thinking like a lot of people didn't grow up in the era like that I grew up in, or maybe even you, where you kind of had to look for information in books and go to the library,
Right.
where you could just go. Now you can just go on the internet and not even type in what you say. You could literally speak like, I want to find out what this is, and your phone or your computer will kind of lead you in that direction. It kind of makes us a little bit lazy. That's why I call people smart dummies.
Well, you
Uh,
see, and this is the most insidious part of where we're at when it comes to to where we're at right now.
mhm,
Our medium right now, this medium, okay, is totally controlled by allegories.
right.
We have no control over those. You know who made those? The rich people. And
Yeah,
why did they make it that way? The same way I'm telling you about the cage analogy.
right, right, right.
Okay, they know how to make these yeah, algorithms. Make these algorithms that will cater to the majority of people. That will gather the most amount of people to follow that concept or that line of thinking. So if anyone tries to go outside that line of thinking, well, the first thing that happens to them was one, they'll never see the top of of an inquiry. They'll be down to page 21 or 22 if they make it to a page.
Right.
So the only ones that basically make it to the top of the page are the ones that closely match the algorithm that has been set up for that subject.
Mm.
That's how that works. So that's how we're influenced into believing what does the majority of people think about something when in reality we're being led by a very small mi- minority of owners who control the power levers and know how to manipulate those power levers to make sure that they're making the most amount of money from the most amount of uneducated people.
You ain't lying, man. You are not lying on that one. But you think that people would kind of know the difference. Like I said, with technology and how it's set up today, you don't even have to. It's not like the people at the top are giving you this information. I mean, in the sense they are with the internet, but you can kind of sift through it and figure out what's real to you compared to them telling you what's real to you. You know what I mean?
No,
But
I
it
know
doesn't.
exactly what you mean. And the thing, the sad part about it,
What's that?
they don't want to listen.
Mm,
They don't want to listen. I mean, at one time, and I don't want to inform you of this, but I guess I have to make my point. There was a time where we had like upwards of 11 people watching.
right.
Okay, now we're down to two.
Right, right. Oh, you mean on my stream? Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
fall. They fall.
I mean, it's sad, but you see, again, if they don't hear what they want to hear and are not open to other ideas and concepts,
Right,
okay, the first thing they do is just walk away. I don't want to hear about it.
right,
It's like a little child being told, hey, go to your room. I don't want to go to my room. What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me if I don't want to go to my room? That's what it boils down to, unfortunately, is that people have gotten to the point where anytime they hear something that that's not within their frame of reference,
mm-hmm.
that is where they just want to drop off. They don't want to hear it anymore. And so they go back to their safety of being with like-minded people who are more attuned to be to be within their cages,
Mhm.
to be within those cages that were defined to them by the power brokers, by the people with their money, by politicians who go and make legislation to ensure that the cages are made and are padded so no one gets hurt while they're in the cage.
I like that. You said no one gets hurt, huh? Oh man, they bounce it off the wall though, but they ain't gonna get hurt. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
So it's very difficult to get people to listen, because when they were growing up, when your generation was growing up, okay, your teachers didn't teach you American history, civics, governmental affairs. Did you ever hear those subjects when you were in high school?
Yeah, we actually did. I think we might have,
Yeah.
because I graduated in 1996, so
Okay.
we kind of had those things.
So you still
Or-
had that in your school.
Man, I never ever forget this. Because we were, I want to say I was a senior. I was either a senior or junior when the OJ verdict came out, right?
Oh,
Yes, yes, yes. And we had a white sociology teacher. I never ever forget this. And we literally made a bet with him that OJ would be found guilty. And he said he was gonna be found guilty. We said innocent. And when the verdict came out, do you know he didn't talk to us the whole class? I mean, he like stood there. I mean, he's just sat at his desk. And I went up to, because I always talk mess. And he don't you say one word as soon as I came. Don't you say one word. But I realized then, I said, man, you never really, it was just so, because like, he was real cool, you know what I'm saying? And even after that, we remained cool, but that was a defining moment. I was like, wow, wow. The one time, and you upset this happens, and he was a sociology teacher too. At that, I'm like, you get that upset, bro?
yeah.
But it was really funny to see. He said, don't you say one word. Just go and sit at your desk. He didn't say anything. Read the whole class. I'm like, man. But I wanted to say something bad. You see how we feel now? But
Yeah.
I know I got in trouble.
But the thing is that it really wasn't us against them so much as this is the way our Constitution works.
Right.
Okay.
Right. This is the system that I mean, that's kind of how I looked at it. It was the system that for the first time worked against y'all. And people,
not against, it actually worked for, because
but no, I mean, it works. It technically, I mean, even because I don't think because I don't think he was innocent. I think he should, but he just had the money, and it showed. And it showed, I think, a lot of white people like it's money now. Like, it really don't matter what color you are. It's about how much money you got and how you can convince people of your thoughts, like you said. And ever since then, it's kind of been, America's been going downhill ever since then. And then I think about, like, within that time period, I want to say that was in 95, and by the time within 20 years, it was a black man in office. My dad used to say that. He was like, first we break the laws. Now, first we learn how to break the laws. Now we got somebody who's making the laws. Boy, they scared now. Oh man, I miss that dude. He used to say the craziest stuff.
And to bring it a little further, what you said, you felt that OJ was possibly guilty.
Yeah, I think he had something to do with it. But what's the crazy part? My mother absolutely, to the day she passed away, knew OJ didn't touch that girl. Nothing. Like, she was such a fanatic, Joe. She wrote OJ. We lived in Ohio. She wrote OJ. I said, what you writing him for? He's not gonna answer you. But you know what the irony of that was, is OJ, I want to say he stopped being black, but he kind of swayed because he came up around that Black Power movement with Jim Brown, and I can't remember the brothers who did the Black Power fist in the air at the Olympics. I can't remember their name at the time, but he came up in that era and he kind of went the other way. He kind of like I don't want to say went to the white side, but he was kind of I don't even want to call him token either, but yeah, he kind of integrated himself with the white establishment, and he was the first like football player with a major endorsement deal with Hertz and all that. And I can remember him running through the airport, catching the Hertz plane. Yep. I mean, catching the rental car for Hertz, like, and to see like how he kind of used their system against him, I think that's what brought us all together. More so than it being OJ, like, because I can remember my father telling me that vividly, like, we ain't rooting for OJ, we just rooting against the system that has oppressed a lot of our brothers and sisters, and unfortunately OJ just had to be that vehicle that did it, but he was so arrogant.
And even though he was flawed, you still accepted the fact that this was going to be a forward step.
Yeah, you absolutely right. You absolutely right. It was real, like it was I won't say contradictory, but because when I started looking, I'm like, OJ didn't really even mess with black people though. He was like, yeah, I know, but you get what you get. You got to do what you got to do. I was like, okay.
And that's that. And to make that analogy to today, it's not that different.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's not that different. We just have to know how to pick our battles and find ones that we know how to win.
You're right.
And and like I said to you before, we win this battle by standing shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, hand in hand, as a united front toward the enemy.
Yeah, you know what? I wholeheartedly agree with you. I want to say hate the fact that we have Democrats, and Republicans. I think it really should just be Americans.
Exactly.
Because if we kind of break that down, and we literally just voting or participating in issues and not a political party. Because once I establish myself as a Democrat, I have to be against the Republican and vice versa. If I'm a Republican, I have to be against the Democrat. And now in today's society where, it just seems like if we all Americans, okay, well, what's the issue that we against? Or what's the issue that we for? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, once they get you in that proverbial cage, you gonna have to fight whoever in the other cage next to you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just unfortunately the way of our society.
Or whatever cage they put you up against.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I remember what you told me about 1984, and I remembered I did read it, and I don't remember watching it though. But I remember reading, I think, as they were trying to brainwash him back to coming into the fold, as you say, didn't they strap a cage on his head?
It was like in the movie, I think they were like doing like it was almost a light, I think, or a projection where they did it. But like I think in the book it might have been a cage or something. But you switched it up for the movie. But
and there was a cage, and there was a gate between his face and a rat's face. The rat was on one side of the gate, and his face was on the other side of the gate, and they were threatening to open the gate and let that rat come out and gnaw his face because that rat was hungry.
Right.
Okay. So that if I remember correctly, that's when he broke.
Right. I think I remember that part. Yeah, because it was a dude. I can't remember the dude's name, but it was who kind of was doing all this stuff to him. But I can't remember his name either. You absolutely right. It was towards the end of the book. You right about that.
Right. It was. And the next time you saw him, he was broken. He was a broken man, and he did exactly what he was told. No questions asked.
Yeah, he didn't even remember old girl. He was like, "Who are you?"
No. He didn't want to remember nothing. He was afraid if he remembered anything, he was going to have a cage back on his head.
Absolutely. Oh man, this was a good stream, man. Damn. But I gotta get to the store before
it gets
too late, man. Thank you for coming up, man. I appreciate you.
Conscious, thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to start doing this more, man. Because I like talking where I can learn something, and then somebody could at least listen to me. They might not learn anything, but they at least give me a chance to speak, man. It's a little different.
I'm hoping that you do this more often. I hope you do it on a timetable so everyone knows when you're coming on and you have the subject matter and stuff like that, because consistency will get you an audience.
Yeah. I do got to get more consistent. I kind of just be flying off the handles, but I'm gonna try and get better with it.
I think you're going to do good. I think you have you have the bones. So
thank you, man. Appreciate that.
You have the bones. Now all we got listen.
We just got to get the meat now.
Got to get the meat. Exactly. So go to the grocery store and get the meat.
Exactly. Thank you for coming up, man.
My pleasure.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. We are going to end the stream. I'm sorry I hit the wrong button, but I wanted to end the live. Thank you guys for coming, and see you next time.